So you're going to come in. This is what your responsibilities are going to be. Not, hey, we'll see where you can fit in and just use you. If you're not able to do this, we'll just accept it and go. No, you will meet the position description, or this is not a great fit. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast. I have a lot of juice for you today. Listen to the end. We start off with if I could give you a guide for your practice, the one you're starting, the one you're in, or the one that you want to have, it's this episode. What are the steps you need to take? What are some of the roadblocks, troubles, issues that you're going to run into along the way? I'll kind of explain what I've done, what I did wrong, what I'm doing better now, how it shaped my focus, my drive, my passion for what I do. We have the closing thought of the episode. This is the Ultimate OD Podcast. Here we go. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, listening, the likes, the messages that I've got. A shout out to Evan Shields from the great state of Tennessee. I got to see him at AOA. We had a great interaction, conversation, and both of us are big fans of Tixel. I'll tell you about that later on. I'm going to recap the AOA meeting in another episode, but I'll tell you what, I don't know what happened, why, but that was honestly one of the best meetings I've ever been to. I got stuff from a business perspective, from my dry eye, aesthetics aspects, from just general clinical optometry. It was awesome. I had a great time. If I could go back and repeat that meeting again, I would do it in a heartbeat. I thought it was well run. I had fun. I got to talk to a lot of people. I think one of the other things that I liked about it was a lot of ICO people I saw, a lot of people I saw from P3, and then in addition to that, I'm starting to meet more and more optometrists, so I'm talking to more people. Networking is actually quite good for us in this profession. Rode home and I had a couple of ODs in front of me, and right next to me was the executive director of the Michigan Optometric Association, and he deals with more of like the political aspect, talking to state representatives, governor, etc., to help expand our scope. So he talks for a living, right? I love to talk. You listen to the podcast, we talk the whole way home. Got zero work done, but it was good to network, meet some people. Great stinking meeting. This, though, I couldn't hold back. I want to recap the AOA, but what I'm about to tell you is probably the best advice I can give you and kind of give you some perspective. So, as I've developed my business to be more than just a job where I show up and I get paid, to an actual business where I'm not there, we make money, we have a plan, we're growing, I have the CEO mindset, the best piece of advice, and I told one of my colleagues this who was getting ready to start his own first private practice, the most important thing you can do is have a vision for where you want to go. The second is have core values. Now, I have gotten maniacal with my core values, and I've also had a vision. And good gracious, I've made so many moves, and we've been growing so much because I've had the vision, I've had the direction, I've had the North Star that's been guiding me. And when you make every decision with the mindset to get to that endpoint, that vision, the decisions are easy. And strategy is knowing what to say no to. You can't do that effectively if you don't have a vision. Okay? And then on top of that, to get to where you want to go, you need to have a culture in your office. And your culture is going to be different than mine. My culture is going to be different than yours. You can be successful, I honestly, truly believe, multiple different ways But if you don't have a culture, you will fail. All right. And the core values do just that. They give you your culture if you stand by them. Now, knowing this, what I will tell you is I've started a couple different offices, and then I've moved from one location to another. Every time you move, you're going to lose people, right? They don't like people hate change. All of us hate change. Your staff hates change even more. In addition to change, you have a vision, and what got you there isn't going to get you to the next level, right? So you change, and now there's new roles. And what happens oftentimes is you have this vision, the way you want to operate your practice, but you have a staff that can't necessarily live up to those new roles. And you can fall into a trap of the Peter principle where you promote to a level of incompetence and you're stagnant and you wonder why things aren't changing. Or you get a lot of turnover. People will leave and then you're left to replace the pieces, right? Well, know this. When you have a vision, you're going to grow, right? And when you grow, there's going to be turnover. You can make this a positive if you have a good culture. Now, one of the things that would happen to me in the past is I've had the idea of changing. I didn't have a good core value structure, and I would just hire to hire. I didn't have an organizational chart. I didn't know how I was going to have the office that I was going to have. I just know I wanted to have it. And that's a mistake that a lot of us make. So here's the thing. Look at that vision, where you want to be, and then tell me how that's going to run. And I mean specifically, like you have to know like who's going to do workups, who's going to be answering the phones, who is going to have what role, and map that out. And I've started to do this, and I mapped it out, and I'm like, well, this person can't do this. There's a limitation here, X, Y, and Z. And it became readily apparent to get to where I wanted to go at the next level. I didn't have the right people in the right seats. And then I had a question, did I have the right people on the bus? Well, go back to what I said at the beginning of the podcast. When you're maniacal about your culture, people will self-select. And I had a couple of managers that I don't think I put in the best position to succeed. And one of them was really great, good, and then it just kind of we took a veer, right? It wasn't there. And then there was another manager who again started off really good, and then we got to the bigger location and that really went sideways. I was about to lose my entire optical because of how that person was leading. And I knew deep down what I needed to do, that this person wasn't a good fit. And I'll tell you this right now, I was too chicken to just say, hey, this isn't working, you have to go. Now, I took a lot of steps. I tried to take her out of that position of leadership, put her in a role that I thought would be best. And it did improve things, but it still wasn't great. There was still this overlying thing. And again, from that, there was a self-selection. And she removed herself from the equation, found a different job. It was really awkward. Took a week's vacation, came back on the 4th of July week and gave me a 4-day notice, and wouldn't even really share like where you're going, what you're doing. It was just odd, right? But, and I had asked this, I kind of sensed that it might happen because when I was gone in Minneapolis, she was off on vacation as well. And when I got back, I asked, I'm like, how was it? And there was a noticeable change in culture and atmosphere and vibe. It was better. Okay. And then so when this happened, it was kind of like best case scenario for me because I was a wimp, I was weak, and I didn't just remove her, but she removed herself from the equation. Okay. We then had another staff member, and this happens. I've had this happen a lot lately where she ghosted us. Like she said she got attacked by wasps for 4 days, and then she's getting better, and then she couldn't breathe, had to go into the ER, and then we literally just didn't hear from her and didn't show up again, and it was just whatever. But through that, The week with that one staff member gone, my one of my best leaders was gone. That original manager who I thought was doing really well, you know, admittedly, we had conversations. Not a big fan of managing people. Great at managing operations. Love what she does with operations, organization. Great, right? And she was amazing. The best I've ever seen her be. Right? Leading the office, not with like managing people, training, but where do you need me to help out? How can I do things? It was the best environment ever. And the optical team, who was managed by the person who had left, thriving because they were given a chance. They had us believing in them. And again, I've been working on that for the past 2 months. And we had repaired that relationship, put them in position to succeed. One of my techs who hadn't really developed the way I wanted her to was amazing. She stepped up. She was taking charge, helping the front desk, helping the other technicians, stepped into a role that she'd never done and sent someone up for IPL. Just everyone was better. Okay? The entire atmosphere was better when we got one person out of the equation. Okay? Love that person that got us there. I will never speak poorly of, because she helped me get to this point. Now, to get to the next level, it was time for a change. And that happens when we grow and evolve. Okay? But everyone else that is still here is amazing. They are filling their roles. They're doing what I want them to do because I put them in the position of where I want the new office to be. Right? I set their roles and gave them the expectation. Julie Helmus talks to me all the time about having a defined role for each position descriptions, she calls them. And hers are amazing. I'm working on getting mine, but I'm developing that. And because I am now hiring two full-time people, I've taken the pieces that I have, I put them in the right seats, and now I'm getting the right people on the bus. I'm hiring with a purpose. I'm hiring with core values in mind. You have to meet our core values. Hire and fire based on those. So you have to be at that level, right? In addition to hiring on core values, I'm hiring with specific roles and position descriptions in mind. Right? So you're going to come in. This is what your responsibilities are going to be. Not, hey, we'll see where you can fit in and just use you. If you're not able to do this, we'll just accept it and go. No, you will meet the position description, or this is not a great fit. Okay? And it's exciting because I have a North Star and I'm putting the right people on the bus because I've thought ahead. Right? I've thought more than next week ahead in my business. And you become more of a CEO, more of a business owner, the further down the road you look. When I go to my P3 conferences and talk to all the really big Optiport people that have like 4+ doors, or the people that are 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of me where they have like 4 or 5 doctors working for them in 1 to 2 offices, 3 offices maybe, they are thinking, the big dogs are thinking 10 years down the road. Literally 10 years down the road. Everyone else is like 1 to 2 to 3 years down the road. And I was like, hey, what are we going to do next Friday? What's next week, right? Thinking big is strategy. Thinking big is being a business owner long term. I have that mindset and it's working, right? There's a bunch of other things that come with that now. And changes that I'm making. Because I know where I want to go, and we're making a huge shift. I've told you this numerous times. We are great at dry eye, ocular surface. We are ocular health and wellness, and we're optical, right? As I see the landscape changing, like long term, I think our future is going to be 1, more medical, and 2, we are going to be the experts in dry eye, ocular surface, and a little touch of ocular aesthetics in there now, right? And I'll explain that more further because I have a vision for that, and I want to go into that. But with that being said, the other things that I'm doing, because I have this vision, we're really trying to make changes in the office to be more medically oriented. So one of the things we're going to do is every staff member is going to be in scrubs. We're going to have uniforms, right? And it's not just, hey, go down to the Walmart and get scrubs or whatnot. I'm thinking like plastic surgeon, dermatology office. They look classy, right? And we're adding these as part of the uniform. Now, little word of advice, when you're going to make big changes like this, you need to get buy-in from your staff, right? If you just say, hey, we're going to do this, go buy some scrubs, they're not going to like it, right? Even if it makes sense, like you're asking a lot of them, okay? So my role in this is the initial staff that is here right now. I'm gonna buy them all scrubs, right? Classy, the ones I want, shoes that go with it, and then they'll have their glasses, right? And which I provide. I'll put some stipulations on that, but again, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. Don't leave it to chance. I know what I want my office to look like, so I'm going to pay and invest in that. That's an investment in us being better down the road for what I want us to be. Now, going forward, they're going to get a X number of dollar of allowance. If they shoes don't work out or they wear them out or whatnot, they have to buy a specific type of shoe that fits our dress code. We are going to be looking dialed in, buttoned up, and professional. One of my biggest concerns with the scrubs was, is it going to affect my optical? One, talked to a lot of different practices. It really hasn't had that much of an effect. And then two, when we start our rejuvenation, our dry eye center, we've been doing a lot of, we're doing IPL, we're adding new equipment. I want that to be an experience, not just going to the closet that I used to have, bringing a Amazon massage chair, looks like a tattoo chair, putting in there, quick doing a treatment and leaving. We were thriving on that, but let's make it an experience. Well, if someone's going to be giving them, treatment and performing that stuff, and they're paying $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a treatment depending on what we're doing, you gotta live up to that level. Someone in scrubs looks professional. That all matters. The ambiance that we have in the dry eye treatment rooms, the chairs that are on, how we approach that has to be high end, right? So we're making that change, and that's where I think the future is. If I see a dip or decline in the optical, we will adjust for the opticians. But right now, we're all going in because a lot of my opticians are going to be helping out in the dry eye aspect. That's our priority, okay? So had a vision, getting the right people on the bus, going to a scrubs mentality. In addition to that, I've thought about this for a while. I've heard this from everyone that does anything dry eye related. If you want to do it, you need to show them their eyes. Just general pictures, etc., doesn't do it justice. So I toyed with that. There's something called a quick view camera. It was $250. You put it on an iPhone or an iPad, and you can zoom in and take pictures. Just a 10x mag picture of their eye. And they're not great photos, but they're photos of their eye. And just that little photo, they don't know what they're looking at, was helping me convert some of my treatments. So I'm like, you know what? Time to go. And for me and my associate, we're getting slit lamp cameras. All right. So we're going to have staff in scrubs, slit lamp cameras. We're going to be showing them their eyes, their meibomian glands. I want to do that on every patient. Now that we're in charge of it, if you're not doing that, the doctor, there has to be a reason, right? Wasn't going to do it, had other bigger things to go over, but now we have a reason to show every patient their meibomian glands. If they have Demodex, I can take a picture of that, show them that. Their tear film, their tear breakup time. All of these things will help in treatments, right? To get them to get better care. It also help with the dry eye treatments. It's a win for business. It's a win for patient care, right? Don't get misconstrued. Oh, you're just... No, I'm showing them what the issue is. They can see it. They now know it's a problem, right? So that's something. We're also adding a device called Tixel. I had just learned about Tixel when I went to the AOA meeting. I am a huge fan. TMA, thermal mechanical application. So it's a 400 degrees Celsius probe that doesn't have consumables. To treat dry eye, 2 passes lower lid, both eyes, 2 passes upper lid, both eyes, 2 minutes, literally, and you're done. Now, the beauty of it is, it's like RF without the radiation. Okay? You can treat the upper lid. The other beauty of that is you can do skin resurfacing, right? There's an aesthetic component to this where you can do like non-invasive blepharoplasties. You can work on crow's feet, laugh lines, neck, anywhere on the body. There's an aesthetics component to it. And I found that by talking about the aesthetics aspect, I can get more compliance in my disease treatment. And that's a lecture I went to in the sense of let aesthetics drive your disease component. People want to justify getting their lids lifted, their crow's feet. And if it's helping dry eye at the same time, it's a win for everyone. Yeah, my dry eye is definitely an issue. I'm going to get that treated, doc. But you're going to help these lines. You're going to lift this lid, right? Absolutely. I am so pumped about this. And I've already got people signed up. They're ready to go. My vision for that is I'm going to own like dry eye and the eyes and around the lid, face, skin, neck. I'll throw in there, but I'll expound more on that. But I think this is going to be a game changer. I'll explain the device a little bit more, like another podcast, but something that we added. So I've added the slit lamp cameras. I'm adding the new device. So then we'll have that heat therapy. We're going to have the IPL. We have low-level light therapy. We've added more tiers to our dry eye protocol. And with more tiers, more options, more people are saying yes. We're doing this past week. I've done autoglycol serum. I've done Oxervate. We've done amniotic membranes. We've done IPL on patients. It is happening. I haven't even really started marketing it yet. Talking to my marketing team, now we're getting ready to go gangbusters, right? I'm putting the pieces in place to make this happen. And if you listen to past episodes, I told you this. I got the new doctor in. We had to get her feet under her. We then had to build her primary care. And now we're on course to Q3, Q4, blow up rejuvenation, our dry eye aspect. It's happening because I had a vision, because I know what I need staff-wise. I'm getting the right people on the bus, and it's happening, right? Listen to this episode. This is me giving you a game plan, a roadmap to make your dreams happen. It doesn't have to be this, but what do you want? And who's going to help you get there, right? Vision and core values. Have a plan. You want a business, how far down the road could you look? And the last thing that I'll say, you know I'm committed when I've looked at my schedule and I am down scheduling comprehensive exams. And I'll tell you this right now, I've saw the light. There's a sweet spot in optometry where about 15 comprehensives in a day is the gold standard, highest level. Beyond that, your revenue per patient probably drops. I'm an exception in my mind, but I will tell you this. I see 15 comps. I'm still seeing patients. I can do more dry eye treatments and evals, and I'll do better on them because I have more time. Guaranteed. Just a chance to talk to the patient. I've done the same thing, extended the same courtesy to my associate. She had her best week ever because she hasn't been rushed. Okay? And that's the beauty of my vision. Is I am finally getting out of the commoditization of optometry. It's not about glasses and contacts. It's about advanced care, medical optometry, dry eye, ocular surface, and we're not a volume practice. We're a quality practice that will have options that other people don't have. And why can I do this? Right? You look around. When I went to the expo center, IPLs, RF, microneedling, Tixel, LLT machines, right? More than I've ever seen. Rinsada. Everyone's trying to get in the game, right? But you know what I see around me? So many people caught the dry eye buzz, and bought an IPL and it's just sitting there or it's underutilized. They're barely using it, right? The difference between them and me and my associate is that we authentically love this. When I'm laying on my couch right now waiting to do this podcast, or I'm like laying in my bed before I go to bed at night, what am I looking at? Dry ocular surface, ocular aesthetics, how to be better in these areas. Like, I literally just love talking about it. I love reading about it. I'm authentically passionate about what I'm doing. The other doctor, I kid you not, we're two peas in a pod. We're playing with the Tixel this weekend or this week. We're literally like zapping each other in the eye with it, trying to figure out how it works, how it's gonna feel, and literally like in the candy store. I got some lidocaine, tetracaine in my eye, beat the crap out of my cornea, but I didn't give two crap. We had fun. And literally are so excited. And then the next day, we're looking at each other's eyes, taking pictures, showing the staff. The staff is excited about what's going on because we are excited about it. I am so passionate. Like 4 o'clock in the morning this morning, I kid you not, I'm texting my wife ideas I have and how literally I'm super pumped about this. Thinking about little domain names I can have because like it'll be easier. I am daydreaming about gear I'm going to wear when I go to meetings and stuff like that just because I'm so proud of what I'm building. Right? And how I'm going to like break it off into its separate business, scale that, or do I have the optometry side and we have a combination? I don't know. The possibilities are endless, but I am jacked up and pumped about it. Like other doctors, and I talked to a lot of other doctors when I was at AOA. Not everyone has that juice, right? Some people are just there getting through the day, trying to be with their families, trying to do other things. Yeah, we do dry eye, or do we want to do this? Do I want to spend money on that? All those patients are never happy. There's a huge mental health correlation with dry eye and the patients that I'm seeing that have dry eye, right? There's a thing. I'm there for it. I'm there to help them. I like those patients, right? And it's authentic. And I'm not calling you out that you're not authentic, but if you bought the device because you thought it was just going to be a cash-based revenue generating machine and you're not using it, you sell what you believe in. Do you really believe in it? Everything that I bought, like the other doctor, when I brought in the other device, the Slims, I kid you not, just giddy, happy as all can be. And I am too. I'm like, let's go. Let's do this. Right? I have no problem investing in this because it's fun for us, and two, we love it. We absolutely love it. So that's the thing, and I guess that's the cherry on top of this conversation is, are you authentically passionate about your vision? Do you truly live your core values? Like I said, my mission, what I do, give people hope, educate, and advise. I love to mentor. I love to do that. And that's what I'm doing in my practice. Talk to the Ferris, the Michigan College of Optometry, working on meeting with a private practice club because I think that'll be fun. Going and talking to third years because why wouldn't I? I love what I do. I want them to be excited. And possibly be an extern site rotation. Why? Because I get a student that I can help become an optometrist. That is going to be like Marty Carroll, Mark Wells, Josh LaHiff, that helped me be the doctor I am today, to have this passion for what I do. I want that. I love this business, right? You will love it too if you're doing what you truly want to do, and that's following your vision. You have made it this far. Either you're going to be in private practice, you're going to start your own office, you have your own office. Don't be the doctor that says, I want to sell this, and then just start an office and practice the way I want. Nope. You have the office, do it right now. Tell you you'll be better for it. That's what I have. I'll have more for you next week. Where has the time gone? We're to the closing thought of the episode, and I'll leave you with this. This is the ultimate quote that will summarize this this episode. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Steve Jobs said that. And I think that's awesome, and that's over the past 3 years what I've really worked to accomplish in my life. When I go to the office, I'm doing what I absolutely enjoy, practicing the way I want to practice, building the office that I want to work in. I'm outside the office. I'm working out in a way that I've never, I haven't in the past maybe decade. Lifting the way I want, incorporating cardio, dialing my diet in the way I want, which I enjoy. I love working out, diet, exercise, nutrition. I'm coaching football at the level that I'm capable of and giving all that I have to the business, that spending time with my wife and kids. It's all because I had that vision. Hope, educate, advise. I really did a lot of introspection. And one of the ways that I got that, to figure out what you love. I told you this on Fridays. I start the day off, work out, and then I go off into my own little wonderland. Don't have my phone on me. Don't go to the office right away. Right away. And I just sit there with a pen and paper and see what comes out on the paper. That has been one of the coolest things I've done, and it's amazing what you will get when you give yourself the time to be introspective, to think. Right? One of the things I heard about being like a gratitude journal or being grateful about things is if you do it at the same time every day, it feels like it's redundant. Like at the end of every day, I'm thankful for my family, or I'm glad I did this, X, Y, and Z. But if you take the time to do it throughout your day, even in like I do on Fridays, take an hour a week where you just block time off to be alone in your own thoughts, you're going to get more out of it. Or every, hour, or 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, when you get done, or you set an alarm on your phone and you're like, in this past 2 hours, what was I thankful for? What was I grateful for? What did I enjoy most? You're really going to realize some things about yourself, right? You'll find out what you love to do and what you enjoy doing. And you'll also find out what you didn't enjoy doing. Add more of the things you love, get rid of the things you don't, and go from there. That's what I have for you, Dr. Lily